fruity, yogurty flavor and a creamy.
Christopher Knight. Now it's time to take a look at how romance can turn fans off. While weddings and births are huge reasons to celebrate in real life, those moments can wreak havoc on sitcoms, at least according to JumpTheShark.com voters.
When love blooms on a television show, beware.
I think the quickest way for a shark to be jumped is when you have two people that are having their little star-crossed romance, and then when you actually put them together, all the chemistry goes away. It becomes a very different show, usually not as good.
There's that great tension, and it's always like, are they going to get together? Are they going to get together? It's the whole Luke and Laura moment. Once they're together, it's like, oh. So he does fart in bed. Well, that's the end of that show.
Moonlighting, David and Maddie, Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis, they had this great back and forth, the flirtation. What will happen? Will they get together? When they finally do, it drains all the suspense. And as a result, Moonlighting was never the same.
Moonlighting jumped in bed and jumped the shark at the same time.
We have to keep our emotions in check.
Bye, y'all.
The Emmy-winning Frasier is said to have jumped the shark when Niles and Daphne finally got together.
I think people just got a little bit cross with us.
I don't think the romantic tension ending ruined Frasier, because didn't everyone just seem gay?
Drew Carey jumped the shark, if you will, when he decided to date a much older woman. My mother. Yeah. He went out with Shirley Partridge or Shirley Jones.
That wasn't part of the plan.
And from Cheers to Remington Steele to Dr. Quinn, JumpTheShark.com voters feel that turning sexual tension into a full-fledged relationship can become a real deal breaker.
They finally get together and the show completely falls apart. This happens more often than you'd think. What's the next step after that happens? A wedding, of course. And anytime you see a wedding episode coming, it means two things: sweeps, and the show's gonna jump the shark.
When Grace married Leo on Will and Grace, voters on JumpTheShark.com responded with a hearty, I don't.
They attempt to have a go at it in a love relationship, and so you can anticipate the fallout.
That was the end. It was over. It was like 1, 2, 3, over the shark. Here they go. It just didn't work after that.
Reactions with Jump the Sharkers were similarly sour when Nanny Fine eventually got her wish and became Mrs. Sheffield on The Nanny.
Fran Fine, all she wanted to do was meet her Mr. Right and get married and have children.
The Nanny, once Nanny and Mr. Sheffield got together, that show was never quite the same.
First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes an even bigger leap over the shark tank.
For me, the quintessential example is when a baby gets added to a show. I don't care what the show is. Anytime anyone has a baby on a show, it automatically jumps the shark.
I would say the classic example of shark jumping is when you add the baby. It's usually to family shows like Growing Pains or Family Ties.
By the time baby Andrew came into the household, I was just watching out of habit. They could have brought in a dog.
The best example of that is Mad About You with Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt. Great show about a couple in New York City and how they're married, this and that. The day they had that baby, that show jumped the shark and was never the same.
There's no therapy, there's no self-evaluations. You do what you gotta do and you move on.
Well, for Dan Quayle, Murphy Brown obviously jumped the shark when she had that baby out of wedlock. But the funny thing is, Quayle cannot spell shark or jump or the.
Murphy Brown was the bomb diggity until she had Avery. Hate to say it, but it's true.
Murphy Brown, who, I don't know, was probably about 60 on that show when she had a child. It was a very realistic moment. I think you knew that show really had nothing left in terms of gas in the tank once the baby came along.
They didn't need the kid. Sorry, Avery.
Those babies are suddenly gone somewhere. Like after the third episode when all they're doing is pooping and eating and peeing, and the audience is not going to be into the diaper changing situation.
All right, Family Ties gets the kid, and then the next season, the kid's 5, and then a season later, the kid was everyone's grandfather. What gives?
Little Ricky on I Love Lucy, he aged about 10 years in a season.
What's with the kids that they grow 5 years for every 1 year? Because in Hollywood, I get 3 years younger every year.
Just ahead, which big-name guest stars can make a hit show jump the shark? We'll tell you. Plus,
you're fired.
Our experts reveal which unscripted series have taken that dreaded leap. Stick around for that and much more when Jump the Shark continues here on TV Guide Channel, America's TV headquarters.
On the next reality chat, we have Stephanie, the winner of The Apprentice. Hey there.
Hey, girl. Okay, so I actually think that I do really great on The Apprentice.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, I FaceTime and Cal. How bad could Trump be? Oh, and I have a secret weapon. I look really hot in a pantsuit.
Reality Chat, Sunday at 7, 6 Central on TV Guide Channel.
What could you do in 18 hours?
I could learn 40 words of French and hop a flight to Paris. I could shake things up a bit.
Beautiful lace all-day support from Playtex 18 Hour. Find the beauty in every hour.
In 18 hours, I could do anything.
Discover Febreze Allergen Reducer and the joy of having less. It reduces up to 75% of airborne allergens from dust mites and pollen that come from fabrics and eliminates odors, which is going to make some people happy. Very happy. Febreze Allergen Reducer. It's that fresh.
We just got a new car. Good time to look at new car insurance, and we went with Progressive, saving like $400 a year. But what really impressed me was they actually gave me the rates the other big companies. Was not expecting that. I mean, that kind of honesty is... Oh, did you have anything to do with this?
No.
Right.
Get our rates plus competitors at Progressive.com. Honest. Progressive. Saving hundreds is just the beginning.
I signed up for car insurance on Progressive.com. I saved money, which was great, but they also have these local response vehicles. And if you're in an accident or need an estimate or whatever, a Progressive guy will come to you. And they're all over. I am a musician who's on the road a lot, so it's pretty cool that they'll come to me if my van, you know, gets pummeled by adoring fans. Or if I hit a pole.
Progressive. Saving hundreds is just the beginning.
It came out of nowhere.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, it's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long distance. Call now and get 1 month free, including free calls to the U.S., Canada, Puerto Rico, and Europe. And all the cool features you could ever want are included. Over 20 in all. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill.
Call 1-800-970-8082.
Every week, millions watch 2 nights of Idol.
The biggest show in America.
But one channel gives you more, TV Guide Channel. Before you watch Idol, join Rosanna Tavares and former Idols Kimberly Caldwell and Justin Guarini. Tuesday at 7, 6 Central, it's Idol Chat, where idols come to talk. Then on Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, it's Idol Tonight.
We are coming to you live from Hollywood, California, just steps outside the studio. Woo!
Before Idol, watch TV Guide Channel.
TV Guide Channel. We guide, but we also entertain with original shows. Madison here, host of the 411, the show that reviews and previews TV's best. Meet Lisa. Her mantra is location, location, location.
I take fans inside their favorite shows.
Visit your favorite shows on Infinity. Then there's John, our own TV guiding light.
That's right. I am a beacon.
Catch John's bright take on the primetime universe on Watch This. Original shows, original channel, TV Guide Channel.
Welcome back to Jump the Shark. I'm Christopher Knight. You know, plenty of big stars seem to drop by my old show, The Brady Bunch. Davy Jones, Joe Namath, and Deacon Jones were just a few. But how many guests can spoil a good party? Let's check in with our Jump the Shark experts and find out.
Will and Grace has to be the best example of special guest stars. They had Britney Spears, Cher, everybody in show business happened to stop by Jack and Karen for whatever reason.
Will and Grace had an incredible amount of A-list guest stars, but for some reason it always looked desperate.
Yeah, almost every pop superstar has come and acted on our sitcom.
We, Elton, Madonna, Barry Manilow, Cher, Britney.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
I've been on the show, yes, and I love the show, and I've been a big fan of the show.
I had a funny little story about Joan. She was on the set for 3 days, and then Monday, I go, "Good morning, Joan." She goes, "Oh, hello. Yes, you're on the show?" I go, "Yes, Joan, I'm on the show."
When Boy George guested on the A-Team, that was a jump the shark moment. I remember looking at Boy George and thinking, do you really want to hurt me? really want to make me cry?
I blocked out when Boy George was on the A-Team. That was literally too dramatic for me. And, you know, that was a shark jumping so violent that I mentally couldn't process it.
Whether Nancy Reagan just happens to stop by Different Strokes to tell everyone to just say no to drugs, or Boy George shows up to help out the A-Team, special guest stars mean jumping the shark.
Truly a pity Boy George never made it to the Brady set. One of the most successful TV genres of the past few years has been the reality and unscripted drama, something else I have intimate knowledge of. But you'd never realize reality's popularity by looking at JumpTheShark.com. Voters there consistently place reality series at the top of the shows that jumped right out of the gate category.
With reality shows, a lot of them have become so derivative of what's already worked that there's a sense of this can't possibly work.
The #1 show on the tube isn't always safe from Jump the Shark voters.
It's tough. Reality shows are judged on a very different curve when it comes to shark jumping. You know, American Idol has a few bad performances one week and everyone thinks it's done.
American Idol is kind of different. I mean, it's not really a reality show. It's a singing contest and it's a variety show. It's a lot more than that. I wouldn't put that in the same category.
And according to JumpTheShark.com users, even Survivor, the granddaddy of competitive reality, has had some close encounters with the shark.
For me, Survivor jumped the shark in the second season when Colby jumped into a Pontiac Aztec to go to sleep while on the island. To me, it was too much commercialism in the show and again, didn't ring true.
Now that it's in season #6, do JumpTheShark.com voters think The Apprentice has managed to trump itself?
The Apprentice used to be a great show. And then the Donald said, we got to put the people out in tents. Goodbye, Apprentice.
You're fired.
Still to come.
I'm 100 years old, man. I've been jumping sharks before you realized there were sharks.
It's something that has taken down the careers of countless kid stars. Find out what it is when Jump the Shark returns.